Fiction Podcast, where we chat about all things Christian fiction. I'm your host, author, and insatiable reader, Shauna Fischhaber. And guys, we have with us, I have already forgotten his wife's name. Sorry. Hi, how you doing? But we have Lucas Fischhaber, and he is the author of Gathering Storms. And this is high fantasy, guys. I can't wait to talk about this. But before we do that, I'm going to let him introduce his wife.
Oh, yes, my wife, which is my better half. And she is also author extraordinary, Shauna Fischhaber.
Hello.
I love it. I love it so much. This is great. So I have to know, it looks like on Amazon there are 2 books that are like related-ish, but I couldn't really be sure. So I thought I would let you explain it instead of me doing the deep dive that I didn't need to do, because you need to explain for everybody else anyway. Hi.
Yes. Yeah. I love that you asked that question.
Yes.
Yeah. There's 2 books. One's called Gathering Storms. That's the one that has been released this year.
That's the one you want.
That's the one you want.
Yes.
That's correct. Yes.
The one with the feather on the cover is the one that you want.
Now, that being said, if you want a collectible for the future, then you want to get the first one.
I love
because
it
it's no longer in print.
Yeah.
But the first one,
I can snag a paperback for $8.95 right now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it could be a collectible. You never know. But yeah, the story behind that one is so the first time around when I just kind of like dove into the story and just started going. I wrote and I finished. I worked with a vanity press in order to bring the book to that full book format.
Mm-hmm.
And then I released it. I was so excited, and we call that version 1. And then so as I was preparing to write book 2, and we got into book 2, got pretty far into it, and I was like, oh wait, I need to. And when I looked back at book 1, I was like, wow, I've really grown as an author. And so I just started going through and revising book 2 or book 1, which is a Gathering Storm. That's one that you see, the second one, and not the other one, I should say. Not
right.
Yeah, the other one. But yeah, so I got into revising it. We were saying that we were adding the culturalness to it and just kind of that deeper experience of the book. To really increase the richness of the world, but also hide more Easter eggs in there, and also
more character
development. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So.
And there's some more discoveries along the way. It's still the same story, but it's drastically different and 10 times more enjoyable. And
it's like the bare bones version.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. And the writing style and writing voice is different.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I said, things have grown since then. But yeah, so that's why you see 2.
Awesome. Well, see, that's why I asked, because you want to know which one do I want. And when the author says get this one, guys, trust an author. When they say go for this one, please trust the author. We have reasons that we realize something wasn't quite right in something else, and we fix it, and we change it, we make it better. We want you to have better. Better is good.
Better is good.
Better is better.
Mm-hmm. In fact, Gathering Storms is really version 3. I would say.
Yes.
Because we totally rewrote the first time, and then we rewrote it a second time. But we never released the second version.
Or the first version. It's a lot of versions. You know how it is. You know how it is.
You think you got it all done. You look at it and you go, yeah. I actually, we were talking before we got on here. We were talking about Joy Crane in China, and she was saying that when she got her revisions back from her publisher at the 50% mark, they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to need you to write this half of the book over. And then she's like, what?
that can sound a little heartbreaking at first.
She's like, wait a minute. She's like, yeah, it was tough. But once it was done, I was really glad they said that. But ouch.
Yeah, that's exactly what Shauna told me when I wrote the first draft the first time. I was like, I'm done.
Print.
Yeah. And Shauna said, you should probably edit that. I was like, no.
Right.
Yeah, she was right.
Yeah, don't you hate it when they're right? I mean, Aren't you so grateful that they're willing to speak truth to you?
Yep.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so I see on this cover, it
Mm.
says Age of Wonder above Gathering Storms. Is that a series title?
That is correct. It is a series title.
Awesome, awesome. It says, as storms descend, who will rise? Da, 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 da. So anyway, so what is this story? First, well, okay. You can answer which of these first you think is best, but I really want to know what the story is, obviously, but also what is this world? And whichever way is best to tell it, it's all you.
Shauna, do you want to go first?
I almost think we start with the world. I think we start with the world.
Yeah, we start with the world. So the book is a hidden world awakening fantasy story.
Ooh.
Yes. Ooh. Yeah. So the basis here is that it's a world that people growing up in the world have this event called the Great Event that happened 500 years ago in the past. Something called the Haze that for the individuals who did survive, they no longer have the memories of the past. So the past itself is generally now just ruins that scatter the landscape that are a constant reminder of what was, that no one can really quantify of what that is. And there are some ruins that are more in their original form that add to the kind of that mystery. And so what we wanted to do with this story and is kind of like bake in that sort of mystery of and make the world itself, Solaris, almost a character in itself in the story.
Yeah. Which it needs to be in fantasy, okay? The world needs to be its own character in fantasy, or you've missed an opportunity.
And I think building what the world looks like has been kind of a combination of like bedtime stories, campfire stories, and things that the kids have helped us with to kind of define the uniqueness of the world. And there's been a lot of happy accidents along the way. We say it's kind of like discovering a hidden puzzle piece to the world, how it has fit in with the rest of the story that we've been building. And sometimes it's a puzzle piece that we may not find for like 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of snaps right into place.
Snaps right into place.
Yeah. Which is,
isn't
that's called life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking again before we got on. See, guys, you missed all the fun. But we were talking about how, sometimes it seems like, what is God doing? I don't understand you. And it can take 20, 30 years. And all of a sudden you see it and you're like, oh, I'm so glad that all that terrible happened because I missed all this terrible, and it, again, that puzzle piece.
Yeah. We wouldn't have discovered some of these things that are so unique to our world that have made it so exciting and so interesting, especially from a storytelling standpoint. We have, for example, in the world, there is something called a spark. And when it lands on a person or even a thing, depending on the size of that spark, it'll turn into something called spark glass, which captures the memory of that moment, or at least the 5 senses and also the emotional aspect of that moment for that moment period of time. And when someone in the future or someone else touches that spark glass, they experience that as if it's that person that had that spark landed on. So it's been a really fun way as a storytelling device to explore our world.
Yeah, and get sneak peeks into the past, into that time before the haze where nothing is known. So watching that develop and think, getting to pull the strings of the past in that way have been really, really fun.
Yeah, and the only way that we discovered that was because we had paused, we took the time, and we just let things come together in God's good timing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That makes a whole lot of sense. I'm just saying. Oh boy. Okay. So this story in particular, then, what are we going to see? What's coming? Who are these people, and why do we care about them? Because I'm guessing we care about them for lots of reasons.
There's sort of two faces here in the story. I'll talk about the first one, and then you talk about the other one. How about that?
Okay.
Amber and Rex.
Okay.
All right. So the first individual who main character is a girl, Amber, who she longs for peace. She must fight to save her forest home when a legendary griffin from a forgotten past awakens. So it's that, she doesn't want to be a hero. She only wants to be the hero to the ones that she loves. And she doesn't want anything to do with the outside world, that kind of thing. And then through the book, she'll face those ancient powers, the things that have been obscured by the Haze, and she'll face the ruthless Dracara and also the wilds of Solaris itself. And the other character in the book.
So the opposition, if you will, that she faces is a member of the Dracara who is kind of seeking what's the word I'm looking for?
Recognition.
He's seeking his place. He's been disgraced among the Dracara is kind of, the word I want to say is clandestine, but that's not true. It's not the right word that's coming to mind.
Sort of like a mafia almost, maybe. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you keep throwing it to me and
All right, so Rex is the character. He is, as Shauna had said, a disgraced individual where he seeks essentially identity in this organization that has they have a belief that mercy is weakness, but he seeks that connection with purpose through this organization, and he wants to prove himself worthy and not a failure. And so he's willing to do anything that it takes to do that.
And so throughout the course of the book, their storylines are kind of thrown together, and you kind of see how, this individual or Rex, who's willing to, he wants so badly to be recognized, to be seen, to be considered worthy. And then that's juxtaposed against Amber, who is happy with who she is. She's comfortable with who she is. And that you just see them kind of come together and what happens when those two worldviews clash.
Yeah.
Which happens so much in life. We run into someone who is our opposite in not just personality, like likes and dislikes, but in actual deep personality flaws and strengths. Yeah. And we don't know how to relate to them. But if we let ourselves, we tend to, that person has what we don't, and we have what they don't, and we become really strong together, which I think is what Ecclesiastes was talking about with the strand of 3 cords or something. You get people's strengths together, and they can do amazing things. But if they're all over here by trying to wield them by themselves, well,
yeah, absolutely. And I think it's the fun thing about that is, not only do you have, these human elements taking place, but you also have, this backdrop of this past that's been hidden, and now it's coming to light again. And how is that going to change the world around all of the characters in the book, and how are they going to face that and come to terms with that?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so, other than the rewriting, what was the hardest part about this book? Sometimes it's research, sometimes it's world building, sometimes it's characters who just refuse to obey. There's lots of reasons why something is tough. What was the toughest thing, and what'd you do to overcome it?
Man, you brought up a lot of topics, and I was like resonating with all of them. And it's like, yes, that's the one. No, that's the one. And I think you're onto something there, where it's like, it's almost the marriage of all of that, where like, because you don't want to spend so much time building the world that you forget to build the characters, or, you know, that you forget to concentrate on or consider different forms of dialogue, or, you know, the different ways that, you know, for one character speaks that has this type of a voice, where this one, you know, has a different type of a voice. So I think finding that balance of including all of those elements in like a really pleasing package.
Yeah. And I think the thing that I was thinking about was that we kind of look at Gathering Storms, book 1, as sort of like the appetizer. The series itself is, there's a lot of story there that's going to be like 5 books long. Book 2 is already twice the size of book 1. So of course that's how it goes, right? Yeah. So I think one of the challenges was we have so much richness in this book or in the story that it was a challenge to figure out how to stay focused on the storyline, on the plot, while, because it's a very character driven story as well, but making sure that we stayed focused on the plot so that we didn't go down rabbit holes that we didn't need to go down, while also setting ourselves up for book 2 so that we can really develop our sort of our foundation and really get into the, you know, much deeper into the story in book 2. So because book 1 is like, it's a quick, you know, it's character driven and it's very focused on, you know, it's very in the moment, you know, down at the character level of what's happening. So I know that was a huge challenge to figure out how to wrangle all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always a tough one, because you have to give enough of what's coming so that when you get into the next one, it's not like you're being plunged into an ice bath. You know, it's like, wait a minute, I thought I knew this world. It's nice and comfy and cozy, and I've got my slippers on, and now I am like shivering, you know, what's going on? So, but on the other hand, you do want it to kind of startle you so that you're not going in sleepy and not paying attention.
Yeah.
You know, there's that. That's tough.
And I think that's why we, you know, one of the benefits of going back, and after we discovered a few things in book 2, and we went back and we nested some things in there, we wanted to make sure that every word of book 1 had meaning and had purpose and held some sort of gravity for the story itself.
Yeah, nothing wasted.
Yep. Yeah, and which was really great because we got poems, we got little songs, we got all kinds of stuff going on.
I love it. Well, because that creates a culture in itself. Just to have the arts of some kind appearing in there makes the world feel, I don't want to say finished. That's not quite polished. That's the word I'm looking for. You know, it's a real world when they have their own arts, if you will, you know, poems that we aren't familiar with here. You know, everybody knows about, you know, only God can make a tree, but what is this world's Joyce Kilmer, and what does everybody know and sometimes roll their eyes because they sing it badly or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it should reflect reality.
Like, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That is actually one of my favorite things to do, is do that regional development, if you will, like picking, you know, like a city and diving into who are these people? What are their, like, what are the phrases that they say? How do they insult each other? Like I love it. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been fun.
It again, it just makes it so relatable and so real and so, you know, just
it's lived in.
You feel like it's what yeah, exactly. It's what Rowling did so well with the Potter series. She's got holes in the magic and all the stuff, and that's great and wonderful. I don't care. She made you feel like this was real. Even when you're right? Even when your brain is going, yeah, but that doesn't work with this, until like 4 books later when, I guess it kind of does. Okay, that's weird. I mean, she fixed what she broke, if she broke anything or if it was not planned, because sometimes it's not planned. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've written something in a book and realized a few chapters later that I was wrong. And went, ugh, I got to go rewrite that. And then I'm like, no, I'm not going to rewrite that, because this character, it was the character who believed that was wrong. I mean, that was right. So the character needs to find out that the character was wrong. And we just that needs to be part of their growth. And the story is always better when I do that than when I go back and fix it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay, so let's talk faith. So what are we going to see faith-wise? Because when you're dealing with fantasy and when you're dealing with these worlds that don't exist, faith doesn't always look like, someone praying before dinner. Okay, that's a really weak show of faith, but you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that we were excited about with doing this fantasy world, which is how we get to explore these shapes of faith, these certain elements of faith itself. And the 2 elements that we wanted to focus on the most was the elements of wonder and mercy. So in the story itself, we don't call it an allegory, and instead it's a more like a parable, I guess. So the sort of ideas and concepts we wanted to explore was the idea of wonder and the complementary idea of mercy.
I love it. And Shauna already mentioned that Rex, was it Rex that has trouble with mercy, or was
it Rex? Rex. Yeah.
I'm getting confused. Yeah. So I mean, when you said that, I was like, okay, I see where this is going, and this is going to be great. I was like, score! But not that I'm excited or anything. Hi, how you doing? But okay, so let's talk a little bit about this mercy and wonder, because that is a combination I've never heard people put together, and my mind is doing really exciting things with it. So talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so I want to talk about the wonder piece, because I have been totally fascinated by this concept of wonder. And then also the fantasy piece. So we were talking before this, but the idea of Christian fantasy and why Christian fantasy, why there's something there that connects with the reader. And I think it might have something to do with that in the Bible, there are elements in history that are based in a form that we cannot explain. There's things that happen that we don't really have an explanation for that feel fantastical, even though it is based in reality. It's like a reality that we can bear. We is like right beyond the horizon. And so, and I think it's that thing that in a fantasy sense, we have that like this very curiousness about that because of that connection with knowing that when we are walking around in our world, there is something that's more than what we see. And so on the wonder piece, I feel like when someone experiences wonder, and we each have that thing inside of us which creates that sense of wonder. For some, it may be a sunset. For another, it may be a song. We all have our own unique thing that causes that feeling of wonder. And I think when we get that sense of wonder, when we feel it, I think it's a realization that we are smaller than what we think we are, that we realize there's something bigger out there, that there is something that's that is hard to explain, that there is something more, kind of pointing at that ultimate sense of wonder at how it connects with the mercy piece. Because it's the wonder of God, of what he has done, that, of course, that portion, which is the redemption of humankind that was not deserved, that is that core memory, that core piece of wonder that never fades when somebody finds it. And so I feel like wonder itself can be a starting point, sort of like when the Bible, it says that when a person's born, essentially they're born with a candle of conscience and a candle of creation, and that when they are growing, they are groping in the darkness for that God-sized hole in their heart. And it's almost like that sense of wonder is brushing up against that thing that they need most. So yeah, the wonder piece has been incredibly fun to explore and to really dig deep into for the story. And so the mercy part, I think it kind of makes sense how that connects with the wonder piece. But of course,
because mercy is its own type of wonder.
Yeah. And actually, you said it best, Shauna, that mercy, wonder has two sides of a coin. Wonder can be misused.
Yeah.
It can be, there's two sides of wonder there.
What we mean by wonder can have two sides. Like you can, there's that wonder of, that childlike wonder of, watching a beetle crawl across the ground and seeing all the intricate colors and, how can such a weird shape exist on those tiny little limbs, so there's all of these, that's a tiny example, or, even as Luke said, a sunset and all of the colors. And so there's all of these things that we can draw wonder from, or curiosity, what it takes for scientists to make discoveries. That's all part of wonder. And those are beautiful uses of wonder, but the same wonder that can inspire greatness can also be used for, they can go to the dark side, right? So terrible creations, terrible inventions have been developed as a result of curiosity in a misuse of that wonder.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're going with the two sides of wonder, where wonder does have, there's that potential to misuse wonder. And, like what is it? Can I burn it down? What would it look like to burn it down? And
it's almost like wonder without morality.
Yes. But on the opposite side,
right,
mercy only has one side. Mercy only has one side.
It only has one mode.
Yeah, you can't, because you can't fake it. You can't falsely show mercy toward another person. It's either genuine or it's not. So we thought that was a really interesting pairing.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's my brain is doing some absolutely terrifying things going, This is nothing new.
Well, there's one more thing too that just kind of popped in my mind. But one of the things that we found so special that we wanted to make sure that we capture in this story is that wonder is all about the small acts. That's a very big part. It's about the stories of the ordinary person who does something extraordinary, but it only affects maybe a few people. And that's the extraordinary thing about, and that is wonderful. That is wonder at the core. And we wanted to make sure that in the story that, or in the series really, that we wanted to place the importance of these, that it's about those small acts.
Yeah, it's not always about being the hero, the one to save everybody. Sometimes, those tiny acts are even more impactful.
Yeah. Well, it takes you back. My brain is going back to that old poem for the want of a nail.
I don't know that one.
I don't remember what battle it's supposed to be about. I feel like it was like Napoleon and Waterloo or something, but I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about that. But it was like, for the want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For the want of the shoe, the horse was lost. For the want of the horse, and it was just like it just like spirals all, and then at the end, it's like all for the want of a nail. It's a really good little. It's a poem, barely, but it is really lovely. I mean, it just encapsulates so much of life.
Yeah, it truly does, because it is life is lived in the small moments. It's not in the big heroic moments. It's what you do in those small moments that lead up to the big choices. So yeah, I love that.
Which makes the heroic makes the heroic moments historic. But it makes those heroic moments actually stand out, because it's kind of like airplane crashes. They make the news because they don't happen all day, every day. But car crashes, on the other hand, you can drive down the freeway and see half a dozen just trying to get to church. Okay, we don't take a freeway to church, but I've been in those situations, and it is true, even though it's not my life anymore. Praise God, he's so good to us. Anyway, been a long time since it was too, I'm just saying. But it's those kinds of things, though. Like, even, was it the beginning of last year or it was beginning of last year, in January, there were tons of airplane crashes. Every time you turned around, we kept hearing about another one in the news, and I'm like, why are there so many more than normal? And then I went looking, I started doing some digging, trying to figure out, have regulations changed, what's going on. There were actually fewer. All those were being reported, but there were fewer in that time frame last year than there was the year before.
Yeah.
Slow news cycle.
And then I was like, oh, so it's just a narrative right now. Got it. Okay. Well, everybody's got one, and they all stink. But not that I have an opinion or anything. Oh boy. So for readers who love fantasy and are going, okay, what is this like? If they love insert book/author here, then yours is perfect for them. Who is that book/author?
So I would say the Mythic Wonder of the Inheritance cycle, the Depth of the Earthsea cycle, and the Epic Scale of the Lord of the Rings.
Awesome. It gives people an idea of like, what am I getting into here, And I mean, that's pretty cool. So we have book 1 reloaded and ready to go. And I'm like, okay, it's already on my Kindle Unlimited waiting. Guys, this is available on Kindle Unlimited. Sing now. And life is good. But when do we think we might see book 2?
Yeah. So
on book 1, we also, for Gathering Storms, we are also in the process of coming out with an audiobook, which we can expect. We're hoping for in October to have that out, which is so exciting. We're working with an incredible narrator. We're so excited about her. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Okay, I will definitely be listening, although I suspect I will try to read it before then too. But hey, authors getting paid twice is never a bad thing, guys. I'm just putting that out there. And the Kindle Unlimited is already paid for me. So, I'm more than happy to make sure he gets paid twice. But hey, authors have to eat. If they get too weak, they can't write. I'm just saying.
I just need a drink. That's it. A dragon drink from Starbucks. There we go. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, book 2. Right? Book 2 itself is going to be. We're targeting end of the year for finishing our revisions and everything, and getting out to beta readers. I am on the search for beta readers though, so. Yes. I'm looking for some motivated beta readers that would be interested in sinking their teeth into an awesome story.
Awesome. Okay, so where would readers go to say, hey, pick me, or to find out more about you and all the stuffness?
LucasFischhaber.com.
Yep, we're on Facebook.
Okay, that link, guys, is already in the show
We're
notes.
also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're all over the place.
And YouTube.
Yep.
We try to do weekly updates of our Friday dates.
Yeah. Every Friday we go and do booky things, and we do a silly video about it after. So if you like a silly bit.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm on YouTube, and what is the @ after
It should
the
be
slash?
Lucas Fischhaber. I think I kept it really simple.
I appreciate it when people do that. I'm looking. It's spinning. It's spinning. It's spinning. Oh, what's his face? Benjamin Laird just ranked the Harry Potter books. I'll have to go back and find out what that is. Okay, hit subscribe. Score. Okay, awesome. Oh, you went to Southern Tennessee. Go to Eastern Tennessee. Just saying. Anyway, gorgeous place. I just wrote a book that takes place there. So, it features a real Christian bookstore. I mean, come on, this place actually exists. Anywho, the story is totally fictional, but the place is real. Anywho, but no, seriously, Eastern Tennessee, that's your next adventure. But guys, we got of course, that was 4 years ago that you went to Southern Tennessee, but same smell. Anywho, so guys, I'll have the link to his channel in there, and got the shorts getting set up here and ready to whatever, but I will put those in the show notes so that you don't miss out on all the fun, because you're supposed to miss out on fun.
And another thing we have in the fire is we're doing fiction within fiction. So we like side quests over here.
Yeah, we do.
So and they're all in the same world, which is so fun, but we've actually written several short stories that are meant to be family bedtime stories. And we're actually working with another artist, a voice actor, that is recording those. They will be set to music. They'll be like sound effects and like SMR. What is that? SMR?
ASMR.
What is it? ASMR. There we go. Jeez Louise. ASMR elements in their atmospheric things, and it's meant to be able to kind of drift you off to sleep peacefully. So that will be coming out as well in the near future.
I'm so excited. So are we looking at like pre-orders going up sometime in the new year then?
Yeah, maybe. I would say that's probably likely.
We're hopeful. So we're
as
hopeful. Of right now,
that's our hopeful timeline.
We are like how many chapters away from the end of the manuscript for book 2?
12 chapters
12 chapters away from the manuscript. So then all of the editing, if that goes into that, and
we're at 180,000 words.
Yeah.
I am just so impressed by people who can say, yeah, I've got 12 chapters left, and they're probably, correct about it. Whereas I'm like, oh, I've got maybe 2 or 3 chapters left, and sit 8, 10, 12 chapters later, because whatever, or, oh, it's done in 3.
Oh, no.
Okay.
That keeps happening here as well.
Yeah. You're just hearing a revised number.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is wishful thinking. Got it.
We're optimistic that it's
all right. So 240,000 words later,
we don't know.
I'm weird. This surprises no one. Oh my goodness. Well, okay. So when book 2 comes out, you have to come back and tell us about it and all the fun with all that. And, maybe we can get you guys to talk about what you do with your beta readers then, because you'll have more, even more experience with them, and, all the fun stuff that different groups do different things. Have you ever noticed that? I'm telling you, it's like one group, it's all this way. And then you're thinking, oh, that's what a beta reader does. And then you get another group and you're like, wait, I didn't know I needed this. And what are you guys doing to me? Or maybe that's just me. Anyway, so, we got to hear about all the things. So you'll have to come back and tell us more about all that.
Yeah, it'd be great.
This has been so much fun. So guys, I've got everything in the show notes, his website, his Goodreads. Sorry, didn't find him on BookBub. If you guys have a BookBub, do send me your link so I can get it on there. But it's all in there, as well as, the YouTube stuff. So don't miss it. And yeah, be sure to reach out and say, hey, where's that next book? Because authors love to hear that you're waiting for the book. I'm just saying. So guys, thank you so much for coming and chatting. I want to keep talking, but I am literally a pool of goo. It's hot. And I'm going to say thank you so much, and go cool off in the house.
It's been a wonderful time. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
This has been great. So you do have to come back. So meanwhile, guys, I'm going to say have a good day. Go read these good books in a nice, air-conditioned, swamped, cooled, I don't care, but not hot place. And I will chat with you guys next time.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Bye-bye.